costumes, and you guys have some mini bubbles on your table, so feel free to have fun with those. We're just here to have a good time, celebrate Halloween, look at some great costumes. Coming up next is a very, very funny woman, and she is coming to us tonight as the Disco Queen. Please make some noise for the hilarious Ann Van Epps.
Disco Queen.
You guys, Danny came up with a name for my costume, so I guess that's what I am. You guys, I was walking down the street and I heard this cacophony of screams, and I was like, what's that annoying sound? And I look over and there's just a bunch of children playing. And I was like, I guess I forgot what happiness sounds like. Are you guys having fun?
Yes.
My cat just died. She lived for arguably 15 to 17 years. And we just got her ashes back, and my mom wants to sprinkle them into the woods. But I just want to sprinkle them into my coffee so we can spend the day together. And then at the end of the day, I will go into the bathroom where I will either pee or poop her out. I'm not really sure how ashes work or how the digestive system works or how ghosts work. But it makes sense that she would be in there with me because when she was alive, she would always burst into the bathroom when I was in there and then curl up next to her boyfriend toilet bowl. Or she would just sit there and quietly judge me while I peed. So when she would pee in her litter box, I would just sit there and watch her and judge her. So I spent the last 3 weeks in Pennsylvania, and I really missed New York City cuisine, you guys, like my favorite Dallas barbecue. And I don't eat meat a lot, but when I do, I like to go and get the shrimp and steak. And then I have this tradition where I just eat 1/3 of the steak, and then I put the rest in my refrigerator, and I forget about it for a month, and then I throw it away. Do you guys have traditions? Or? When I first came to New York City, I was a lot heavier. Oh my God, Anne, you've lost so much weight. Oh my God, thank you so much. But yeah, I used to be a lot heavier, and I had a bigger butt, and I just remember walking around the city, and I felt like there was like something on my butt, like newspaper, and I checked it, and guess what I found? Nothing. Oh my God, what? So when I got home, I checked under my pants, and guess what I found?
What?
Absolutely nothing. Oh my God, what's going on? And then I separated my butt cheeks, and I reached in and I pulled out an entire lettuce leaf. And it was brown. Because it had, gone slippy slidey through my body. But it must have been kale because it was like really sturdy, right? The craziest part is this is actually not the first time this had happened. Another time I popped out an entire raisin. But you guys, the thing is I don't eat raisins. So I think it might have been a grape going in. And I told this to a guy, and he was like, yeah, you really need to learn how to chew your food. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for that life lesson. But yeah, you guys, I am dieting right now. And you're like, oh, Anne, what's your secret? Mostly I just say gross things, and then I'm not hungry anymore. So you guys, I have this habit where I like to chew my fingernails and my toenails, and then I like to bundle them up and like pop them into my mouth like a bundle of twigs, and just like feel their fullness. It's like my version of consumerism. And then if I'm wearing like a black shirt, I like to take out the bundle and put it on the fabric, and just the juxtaposition between the white fingernails and the black fabric, I don't know what it is. I'm just like, you know, like I accomplished something today. Okay, you guys like that? That's great. Okay, so I was on the train and I saw this guy who was like a hottie with a body. And he had this double zit like right by his lip, and it was like really juicy. It was crowning. And I was like, oh man, all it would take is one sharp fingernail to graze across those puppies, and they'd explode like a cannon. Should I have asked him for his number? Because you know there's more where that came from, right? Back me. Have you guys lost your appetite? It's working. It's working. Okay. So, guys, do you do this where like you talk to a guy online, right? And then you decide to meet him in person, and you and your friends are both like, don't get murdered. Like that's the go-to, right? Right? Why do we say that? It's just like, you know, murdering is actually really hard, and I just don't think men today have it in them. You know? Like, I have a friend, I forgot, what is it called when you, like, kick and do stuff like that for a living? Oh, stunt woman, okay. She is a stunt woman, and she told me that it takes 4 minutes to strangle somebody if you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, it takes a lot longer. And then before that, you know, there's a lot of premeditation that comes into killing somebody, right? You have to do the location scouting. Sometimes there's stalking involved. You have to pick out a nice place for the date that's convincing. And then the guy has to be charming, right? Like charming enough that we feel comfortable for him to lure us to a secondary location that's at least semi-private so that he can murder us, right? And then, you know, also keep in mind the rest of your night's gonna be, you're gonna be busy because you have to figure out how to dispose of the body without getting caught, right? That's key. So I just feel like if I married a serial killer, like my mom would be so happy for me, right? Because serial killers have like what we're all looking for, right? They're hard workers, they're smart, they're charming, and they're like usually pretty hot. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen, do you guys know who Richard Ramirez is? I feel like everyone does.
Yeah.
Have you seen him after he went to prison? They gave him new teeth. I was like, damn, that hot goth can do whatever he wants to me, right? Just like, I'm still going. I'm like anything. Okay, so that's half of that joke, but there's more. But I have to go now. You guys liked what you heard so far? You think the murder joke has good legs, right?
Yeah.
It's not finished. There's more that I wrote, but I have to go now. So my name's Annie in the City 2020 on Instagram. You want to follow me, you can get out your phone right now. Get out your phone right now and follow me so that my mom will be proud of me. Okay, thank you guys so much.
And then Epps, everybody. All right, how many of you guys read books? Awesome. So, coming to us